is it that we do?
Give the what they want.
Fred VanVleet put up 54 points. We have Jared Allen joining us late in the show. But we start with what could be NBA Finals preview. I don't know. Is the Clippers visiting the Nets in Brooklyn? And we start with Kyrie Irving. Big gets down the stretch. Finished up with 39 points. Jalen, is this the Nets that we all want to see?
Brooklyn, so yes. And when I confused, I respect everything that's happening in the East, and I can't wait to see playoffs. Joel Embiid has been outstanding. You know how much I love Tatum and Brown. But Kevin Durant is winning the East. And let's respect on Kyrie's name offensively. So many times when you're a public figure, people take your personality and equate that to your performance. We're watching him slowly play basketball. It's as good as it get offensively, dog. He got all the requisite skills. One-on-one, from the three, catch and shoot, in the post, turns over both shoulders. Like, he's a dynamic offensive player. And then to see James Harden playmaking ability, it's effortless. James Harden said he walking more now than he did when he was with the Rockets. He like, all right, he can do the 50 more years. It remind me when Green was older playing the Lakers. They were Showtime, and he didn't have to cross half court time. But when he did, they gave him the ball. That's what Harden doing for triple-doubles on a night basis.
Did notice on a couple possessions, Kyrie would just get, he looks like he's screening a light bulb sometimes. He's just twisting it this way and twisting it that way and going off the right foot, left foot. And on a couple possessions, James Harden literally didn't get over court. He just got to Kyrie and then watched his thing. James Harden had something interesting to say, contrasting his time with the Nets versus his time when he was Rockets. Let's listen to the beat.
Scoring is everything, so I try to impact the game in ways. I try to, obviously when Kai get them, easier look than they can. Not about points for me. It's about stats for me. It's getting a win. And I think since I'm here, I have to do whatever it takes for us to have a win. And that's all that matters.
How do you think he really feels about his time and his game at the Nets versus when he was Rockets?
Well, this game will humble you, Jacoby. And though he has so many amazing individual accolades with Rockets and MVPs and scoring titles, he hasn't won a championship. And he's playing with two guys that have. And since he has not only played with Key prior, but they have a friendship and a kinship, he's now willing to sacrifice and do whatever it takes to get Harris shots, to make sure Kyrie feels good about his offensive game. Feed Jeff Green slashing to the bucket. I appreciate the maturation of his game. One of the things they're going to have to do, however, is be able to get time stops. It's the one thing I'm watching the Nets play. They allow teams one dribble drive, you can get a layup against them. They're not really rotating and helping much. So that's one thing that they have to improve, in particular in tight situations.
And we saw a little bit of last night. There's one possession. Kawhi was trying to back to Harden, and Harden was getting trouble, and Kyrie was staying in front of Will. Like, they got a couple stops with some efforts in the forward. We'll see if they can continue that, because obviously defense is what they need to work on. But you were watching the game, Jalen. You used your astute experience and wisdom and analysis, and you found a fatal flaw in the Clippers. What is that?
And you know how much I love Kawhi since San Diego State. Been big on him and great to see everything he accomplished in Paul George as well. But when I look really deeper into the Clippers, and you know my favorite team of all time, of course, is the Pistons. I see two former members of their team in their backcourt, Reggie Jackson and Luke Kennard. And Luke ain't giving the six-man of the year type numbers and bounce anymore. Pat Beverly, who was out in injury, is probably the second or third lowest scoring starting point guard in the entire NBA. So when you look at the landscape of the West Conference and all these teams and these dynamic players in their backcourt like Curry and Donovan Mitchell and Dame Lillard, Luka Doncic, Steph Curry, it goes on and on and on in the West. This made the actual Achilles heel for the Clippers as the playoffs come.
Well, one team that had no trouble getting production in their backcourt last night is the Toronto Raptors. They up against the Magic, undrafted Fred VanVleet went off 54 points, 11 from 14 from three. What do you think about this man's performance last night?
That's one of the guys. I like to see people get it from the undrafted and then all of a sudden get the largest contract guaranteed of any player that was drafted. Just think about that. Kyle Lowry, by the way, Lowry had a triple-double. We talk about the top backcourts in the league. People just overlook them. They only won a championship a couple years ago. That's all. Now, they just won a championship a couple of years ago. Great to see a guy putting in work. And he keep a fresh cut. He keep a fresh cut.
I love that you love him because he got from the mud and he was undrafted and he's your guy. And then the real reason he's your guy, he got a nice hairline. Let's be honest. That's what's the first thing that you notice about his game. I'm glad you mentioned the champion because we'll always remember Kawhi bringing championships to Toronto. But Game 6 and 7, it was Fred VanVleet hitting shots for that team finally take out the Warriors. Now, Jalen, it's a very interesting game that involved the Warriors last night. The Warriors jumped out to an early lead against the Celtics, but could not hold on too much. Tatum and Brown. What do you think about this dynamic duo from Bean?
Well, they're the East Coast version of Clan PG. And just to watch both of these guys sin, they should both be all-NBA performers this year, Jacoby. And I'm really happy for Jalen Brown in particular because we knew he was going to compete defensively in guardable positions. But how he's improved his offense and his three-point shooting and the ability to get shots off dribble and the clutch has been great for a young player. They're going to be so very special for a long time.
Yes, Jalen Brown in a sense has just been consistent up. Now, I was watching this game and I'm thinking, yeah, Kimba, Brown. But where else are they going to get it? Did it come from Thompson? Did it come from Tyson? Did it come from Teague? Did it come from Grant Williams, Robert Williams? Like, that's one of the things when I look at the team in the East, I'm looking at a huge drop-off after those players on this roster. You think that could hurt them a series in the playoffs?
Well, yes is the answer to that question. And that's what's going to make the interconference playoffs so great because each team has its flaws. You have Bucks and Giannis, but is he going to make shots from the free throw line, the three-point line? Are the Celtics going to get some productivity from the 5 spot? How are the Sixers going to navigate game situations with Benzema's not necessarily make shots outside of the paint? So there's going to be questions all over. And so that's going to create intrigue. And for the Nets, are there lack of defensive tenacity to get in the way of a terrific offensive prowess? So it's going to be interesting to see. But Marcus Smart, he's always been the guy that changes the dynamic for the Celtics. They're going to need him to be a player, Jacoby, making shots, knocking down defensive, and he's actually their best passer.
Yes, he wasn't in the last night, but we have some news that matters. Jalen, Super Bowl's approaching. There was a that was done. If you think about this, it sounds a small number, but it's actually a huge number of people. Out of every 100 people watching the Super Bowl, 6% will be watching naked. 6 out of every 100 people you have in your phone watching the Super Bowl naked. Do you know what this information told me?
What's
watching
that?
naked this year. I'm watching naked this year. I'm watching naked this year. Why wear clothes? If we can't see it, buddy, we can't have a party. I'm watching the Super Bowl naked this year.
During COVID and the pandemic, everybody working from home? Absolutely. No question about it. Naked this year, eating popcorn? Just make sure that you don't call the wrong person. While you naked watching the game when you're excited.
Don't find me during the Super Bowl. I ain't with any close for the Super Bowl. I'm part of the 6%. I am proud. Coming up next on the show, we will be joined by Jared Allen, who will give us some really interesting insight what's going to happen this Sunday in Super Bowl. Make sure you stay tuned that you are watching. Back to Jalen Jacoby. Jalen joining us on the program right now is one of the best to ever do. Disruptor. Always in the backfield. See him right there, number 9, wearing the Chiefs uniform. Jared Allen joins us on Jacoby. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Oh, my pleasure having me, guys.
Of course. Now, there's so much focus on Mahomes versus Brady and all the weapons on offense. Heading into the game this Sunday, which defense do you think will have a bigger impact on the game and why?
Oh, my goodness. I think if you look at the players, like I think Tampa has the defense overall, but I guess it just depends on the situation. This game is going to be situational, right? So I think if our defense can put the other offense in third situations, and that Chiefs defense is streaky the back end. So I'd do it this way. I'd say probably give the advantage to Tampa up front, the advantage to the back end Chiefs. So I think the Buccaneers is going to have a better advantage just basically about the injuries of the O-line of Chiefs. Whether they can, equate that into successful and get in the right situations, we'll see. It's gonna be a game to watch. I think, each defense a totally different set of challenges. That's why it's kind of hard to pick which one's going to be better off.
That's where I was going. So if you were running the Bucs, what would you do to try to slow down Mahomes and the Chiefs?
Send everybody. I'd make sure double Tyreek, put a sit down on Kelsey, and then send everybody else after Mahomes. If they beat somebody else, is what it is. I don't believe in playing passively. And, you got to let your front guys get after him. You got to rush in some sort of way to try to contain him, but he's good outside the pocket. He's good inside the pocket. So, shoot your gun, die on your shield, and all hang out and see what it's like.
I like that fly. Mahomes was numerically worst against cover zero, but there's just so terrifying about sending everybody and allowing him to throw the ball. On the other side of the ball, we have Tom Brady, who's going to be under center for the ball. He wants to play until 45 and then said maybe he'll past 40. Could you see him under center in the NFL in the second of his 40s?
Oh, if I'm Tom Brady and I win this game, I would take everything off and just be done. Just 50-yard line, throw it on the floor. See ya. I mean, it does this. There's literally nothing else he can do. He just left the team for 20 years, comes to a completely different division, wins the NFC title down. If he wins a Super Bowl, you're done. There's literally no more you can do.
Michael Jordan, when he did the crossover at Utah and made game-winning shot, that should have been the end. He had never played the Wizards. He should have just been ownership. If Tom Brady wins his first year with Bucks, do not play again. They not going back-to-back. It ain't going to happen. If you do it this year, that's got to be it. So who do you have winning this weekend's Super Bowl and why?
So I'm torn because of my history with the Chiefs, right? And it's a great franchise, and what going to keep accomplishing. They're going to have plenty more opportunities. But we are rewatching history, and like you said, like here's an opportunity for a guy in his 40s, take a team to their first home Super Bowl. And so I want to win it. So, I don't know if they're going to, but I'm rooting for the Bucks to kind of this just because I want to see history made. And I know that in my lifetime we'll see something like so. It's a special moment, I think, for the history game. I'm rooting for Bucks, but if the Chiefs, I'm not going to be sad either. I'm in the mood, but I do think history should win, and I think Brady was that, and we're not that kind of. I don't know. It just seems like his years, so it's hard against that guy.
So, Jared, share this screen with two people that are well known, not just for their athletic achievements, but also their hair. You, the mullet, and with this shape up. So my question for you is, Jared, do you think Jalen should try to join the mullet mafia and rock a mullet?
Everybody should do it. Change your life. I mean, I'm not saying it's for the better, but it'll change somehow. You get this going. Dude, I bet you the high top fade back in the 80s with the little neck music. Yeah, get that. Oh, it's beautiful.
But see, the problem is the top of my hair doesn't style. And I cut off my sides. It takes forever to grow back. I would love to have a mullet. I'm just scared I'm almost 50 and my hair don't grow back on the sides.
Oh, it's tough. That is a true thing. Like, you cut it sometimes, it just stays gone. I mean, heck.
So, Jared, you and I also has another thing. You and I also have something else in common. I noticed you post a lot yourself cooking and grilling in particular. So talk to me about your cooking skills.
So I do everything outside the house. My wife takes care of most everything in the kitchen. So, but yeah, I like good food. So we cook in our house. We eat well. I like smoking, ribs, brisket, all that stuff. We just got a pressure cooker and figured out how to use the pressure cooker. That's like game changer. That is a game changer right there. So you carnitas in like an hour versus like a 10-hour stint. That was probably my joy right there. My wife asked me to make a double chocolate cake for her birthday. Crushed it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I've never seen a football field with that focused look on your face had icing that cake. I think that might be the most effort you've ever put towards a cake.
You got to focus. I didn't want to mess it up. Yes. And then I took like 5 hours making like strawberry, like a little strawberry heart. I said like 12 strawberry. I figure out how to make some strawberry rose or something like that. YouTube's a little thing.
What? Tell us about your partnership Volvo and Safe Sunday.
So, I have the record in the NFL safety, so I teamed up with Volvo. They contacted me, joining up with the safety campaign. And so with Volvo being one of the safest cars ever made, we teamed up to give away $2 million worth of cars if there was a safety on Sunday, right? So they did it last year. They did a $1 million deal. And the cool part about it is, and I learned it out, go back, talk about the hair. In high school, I drove a 1987 Volvo station wagon. So,
you were getting it. You was getting it. You was getting it. I remember those days. You was special ed I done made.
It was the hand down for my stepdad. My stepdad me up with it. It was that or the motorcycle. I made a good life decision, chose the Volvo. I'm here today. But yeah, we teamed up. But the part about it is like the $10 isn't just this ad deal. So it was, Volvo wanted a 3-point safety deal, right? So they say their credit last year was saved to 1 million lives with the seatbelt. So the additional $1 million worth of cars they want away represent the additional 1 million lives they want to sell to innovation technology Volvo. So it's a cool deal. And so we did up and I figured, you know what? It's a cool way to start 21. Let's just give a whole bunch of away. 20 kind of sucks. So let's make it special. Throw some confetti up there and all that good stuff.
Well, have a time Sunday. Looking for your meal before the Super Bowl. Enjoy the Super Bowl. You're welcome to come back on Jalen Jacoby anytime.
Appreciate the love.
And
appreciate it, guys.
We will be back after this, and Jalen's going to tell you have a topic that involve all of favorite interests. That is NBA basketball, chickens, and gentlemen's clubs. We have the perfect topic for you, Jalen Rose, and it is because the NBA is planning on having a truncated NBA All-Star event in Atlanta. Jalen, do you think that perhaps some COVID violations could occur if this was to happen?
I am here for Jacoby, and don't surprise those days. I'll be doing it from there. I'll encourage each of the players and all the fans to support essential businesses like Magic C, Onyx, Cheetah, Blue Flame. It's a must that it happen. Pony. Absolutely. Make sure you wear a mask, you socially distance, enjoy NBA All-Star.
I think I got COVID from listening to you list all of this. Honestly. Please, all NBA players, stay safe in Atlanta. We need to see you on the court. We can talk about you the next day. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 p.m.